Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024 council meeting. Disclosure of pecuniary interest. If not, I'm going to hand it over to Chris.
We're just going to go through the procedure. I have a letter to read dated November 12th, 2024. I, Tom Piper, regret to inform you that I will be resigning my position as the mayor of the municipality of Nipissing, effective November 30th, 2024. I would like to thank staff and council for all of their support over the years. Best of wishes to all. Piper. So with that, that leaves the mayor's seat vacant. And as per procedure bylaw, that's what I'm screen.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, council doesn't have a copy?
No, I just, it's not showing that on the TV. Okay. As per the procedure bylaw, 2.4, in the absence of the mayor, or if they refuse to act, or if the office is vacant, the deputy mayor shall carry out the mayor's duties and have all the rights, powers, and authority of the head of council. So again, do you accept this seat? Okay. So we do have a bylaw. Once this resolution is moved and seconded, it is on the table for discussion. We will ask council if they have anything to add or any comments to make. And if there are none, we will take the vote. So may I have a mover and a seconder to put this on the floor? Councilor Foote, Councilor Scott. Thank you. The resolution reads that we pass bylaw number 2024-52, being a bylaw to appoint a mayor. Dave Yem is appointed the mayor of the Township of Nipissing, effective immediately. Read a first, second, and third time and passed this third day of December 2024. Any comments? As per the procedure bylaw, we will take the vote. All in favor? You sign the resolution. Next, we'll go on to deputy mayor, which is also stated in the procedure bylaw. 2.5, the deputy mayor shall be the member of council receiving the highest number of votes in the most recent municipal election. So can you go back a slide? Thank you. This shows the number of votes that were cast in the 2022 election. The next highest vote is Councillor Shelley Foote. Councillor Foote, do you accept this MC?
I need a mover and a seconder.
Yeah.
And I'll read it. That we pass bylaw number 2024-53, being a bylaw to appoint a deputy mayor. Shelley Foote is appointed deputy mayor for the Township of Nipissing, effective immediately. Read the first, second, third time and passed on the third day of 2024. Comments? All in favor?
As per the Municipal Act, Section 262(1), the vacancy of a council seat must be declared.
So I need a mover and a seconder. And I'll read it. It resolved that per section 262(1) of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended, the council of, of the corporation, the Township of Nipissing hereby declares the seat of one councillor to be vacant. and that the position will be filled following the appointment procedure for filing vacancy on council. Council vacancy application packages will be accepted in person at the Township of Nipissing office, 45 Beatty Street, Nipissing, between 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. beginning Wednesday, December 4th, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. and will close at 4:30 on Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. Packages will be made available and downloaded from the township website, or the printed copies available at the township office. Candidates will be certified by the clerk following the closing of nominations. A special council meeting is hereby scheduled for Thursday, December 19th, 2024, beginning at 6:30 p.m. at the Community Center, 2381 Highway 654, to hear candidates' presentations and for council selection. The selected candidate will be sworn in at this meeting. Any comments? Discussion?
Will we become a lame duck? No, okay.
Good. All in favor? Okay. Committee reports, and we'll start with Councillor Foot.
Awesome. We had a rec committee meeting yesterday. And we can't say thank you enough again for all the volunteers that came out and helped with the roast beef dinner. It was a great time. It was good food. I think we heard lots of great comments. And we took some feedback, and some of the feedback is, and we kind of watched what times people were coming in and stuff. We may adjust our times a little bit. I think it was great. We had 80 kids and 6 adults show up, which was fantastic. Food left over.
I think the other way around.
Yeah.
80 adults. and
80, yeah, 80 adult, yeah, I did write 80 kids, so.
That'd be easy.
Yeah. And we did come out, and we really treated it as, it wasn't a profit-making event, it was more about a community event, so we did come out on the positive side of things, which is fantastic.
That was the only comment that I received, was why aren't we using this as a fundraiser? So I explained that it was more to bring the community together.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, if council or if the committee wanted to do it in a different way, we could, but it really was about bringing the community together at the time. And we're willing to take any feedback anybody has, we're more than grateful for. So that was fantastic, and the volunteers were excellent, whether it was committee, whether it was council, whether it was just people that came in and said, hey, can I help? Which was fantastic. We have winter cards coming up. It's going to be running from January 9th to March 20th. So just opening the doors here in the community center so people can come in and play some cards, whatever you want to do. Bring your friends and play cards for a couple hours from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock every second Thursday, which will be a lot of fun. And just some coffee, some water, some tea, and just have a good time. Get people together and out of the cold.
Yes.
Which is part of it. We did approve strategic plan and the budget, and everything was approved. Everybody agreed. So we got a great plan for the next year. I'm excited to see what next year looks like, along with the meeting dates. We did talk about Command Community Center. Their potluck Christmas dinner is coming December 8th. They did say people need to really get a hold of them because they have very limited seating, and let them know. RSVP. New Year's Eve dinner gala is after that with their fundraiser, but they moved that to the Trout Creek Community Center because they're expecting a big turnout, which will be fantastic. And our next meeting is January 6th. We did not do a bottle drive this time. There was a lot going on, and there wasn't many bottles to be picked up. Did I miss anything? Councilor Scott? No.
Councillor Foot. Councillor Scott.
Shelley covered everything on the rec meeting, and that's all I had.
Okay. Councillor Kirby.
Okay, do you have the museum board? I'll do
Yes.
the other two then.
Yeah.
Okay, I have the library board, and I'll start with the library board then. We met on November the 18th. Budget committee will meet again on December the 9th. Yes, December the 9th, with the expectation to have a budget for December 16th. I think we're sitting to. So the budget report is still being worked on with the exception of the report in December. The new board member for our principal municipality didn't make it to making 3 meetings in a row with no representation. Saturday, we sat in a pay equity seminar with the Ontario Library Services a couple of weeks ago. It was an interactive seminar, and the only question by us was, how does it pertain to union public libraries? And after some discussion on the unionized libraries, we had to clarify that we meant what we meant. They thought they were talking about libraries with a union staff. And we clarified that because it was an interactive seminar. So we clarified that no, a union public library whereby, and then somebody else got in and said more than one municipality involved. So we kind of got that, but the answer that we got back was kind of ambiguous because it sounded like they didn't really understand what we were talking about. So it was 2 hours. Capital grant update, they started putting new lights in, but the contractor sent an apprentice to do it, and none of the dimmers are working and the lights flicker on occasion, and the contractor has since said he's done, and so of course he'll get paid upon satisfactory completion of the project. Another contractor is working on the heat pump. It should be completed by now. It started out long before I got this. So total active users for October were 2,513 active users of the library, keeping in mind that we have 2,293 members. So we have also people coming in for resources and stuff who aren't members. October saw 18 new members. The Christmas Story Walk will be sponsored by Scotiabank, One Family Farm, and Powassan Home Hardware. It'll have 18 stops this year, and it starts on November the 25th. And then other events for December 17th is the holiday baking with the Holiday Book Club, and then the annual open house is December 20th. You'll all get tickets for that, for the open house. That'll be the 20th from 1 o'clock to 4 p.m. Everyone is invited for the open house, music, refreshments, multiple draws, free tickets available at the library. Free library cafe on December the 18th. That's digitally connected to your family and friends this holiday season. That's the theme. And treats and coffee from the Carriage House Market. Lunch, learning, and drumming, December 11th at 11:30 a.m. Learning about the health and wellness benefits of drumming can provide enjoy a warm bowl of soup while you're doing it. December 2nd, I guess that was already gone. It's a potluck to celebrate this past year's successful fundraising, and then the themed artwork at the library is on display. That's it for the library. Now we will go on to the Police Services Board. So got a recommendation that we don't move on any items from the board until we resolve the insurance issue. It's a new board format that came down with the new Police Act and all of that. So we're still getting our feet wet there. So Lisa Darling will be working with the Association of Police Boards, and we're working on increasing the focus of staffing, enhanced de-escalation training with mental health calls, and that's going to be a big issue coming up, is how policing deals with mental health calls. We have a good system in place locally where they've integrated policing in with the other So, and we have there is actually a team now that they call out for mental health calls, so they work at de-escalation, so they don't wind up in that policing thing. So, and they were talking about, we have a core of really good officers in the Powassan detachment, so, and they're very, very community oriented, so that's working good. And I think we're gonna be working off of the North Bay OPP staff plan because they've already got it in place. So that's gonna have input into our local strat plan. Our local one's gonna be somewhat different, but it's gonna be based off of that. Municipal safety and well-being plan, you worked on that, eh? So we went through that at length. That was well put together, I have to say.
That was a joint effort between
Yeah.
the calendar for Boston, Chisholm and Nipissing.
Yeah, and that was very, like, when, I know that we had discussed it here one night, but we didn't go into the depth that we did there, and that was a well put together plan. So we went through the population breakdown, you know, like our offenses and speeding and all that. And then now we're gonna start working on the board needs a budget as well. So we're gonna work on that, and there's a conference that is recommended that we go to in the spring. And then we'll be going through the new policing act. So we have substantial work ahead of us on that board. Anybody who thinks that it's gonna be a walk in the park is wrong. Anyway, that's all I have. Our next meeting. So,
Thank you, Councillor Kirby. We did have a museum board meeting. I'll just be quick about it. We approved the strategic plan to bring to council at our last meeting. And also our merchandise, books and candies, our budget for that we approved to bring to council as well. Kim's still working, looking for grants, and Jillian is still cataloging in her spare time at the land sale. So anyway, that's all I have.
And we received the written submission from Tom.
Yes, on East Home, Tom Piper submitted, I think everybody has.
I handed it out.
oh, okay.
Let me say.
It came in late.
Yeah. Okay. I need a mover and a seconder. We're gonna adopt the minutes of our last council meeting. Shelley? I will read it. That the minutes of the regular council meeting held November 12th, 2024 be adopted and published. All in favor? Okay.
Next item.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Will be for a representative on the East Home. I need a mover and a seconder. And I will read.
Who do we have this?
Oh, sorry, Shelley and Steve. Whereas Tom Piper has been a longstanding representative on the East Home for the Age Board of Management for the Township of Nipissing. And whereas council believes the continued representation by Tom Piper is in the best interest of the township and the board. Now therefore, the council of the Township of Nipissing appoints Tom Piper as the Township of Nipissing representative to the East Home for the Age Board of Management for the remainder of the term. Discussions. All in favor? Carried.
There are two items now that are not on the agenda necessarily listed, but they are housekeeping items with the changing of the mayor and deputy mayor. So this first one is regarding the bank. We have to change signing authority, so they asked us to do this two-page resolution. And I'll read it. I'll just move her in a second or so. Okay. Be it resolved that Royal Bank of Canada is appointed banker for the Township of Nipissing, and one of mayor or deputy mayor, with any one of land planning administrator or fire chief, are authorized on behalf of the customer from time to time to withdraw or order transfer of funds from the township's account by any means, including the making, drawing, accepting, endorsing, or signing of checks, promissory notes, bills of exchange, other orders for the payment of money, or other instruments for the giving of other instructions, to sign any agreements or other documents or instruments with or in favor of Royal Bank, including agreements and contracts relating to products or services provided by Royal Bank to the customer, and to do or to authorize any person or persons to do any one or more of the following. One, to receive from Royal Bank any cash or any securities, instruments, or other property of the township held by the Royal Bank, whether for safekeeping or as security, or to give instructions to Royal Bank or for the delivery or other transfer of any such cash, securities, instruments, or other property to any person named in those instructions. Two, to deposit with or negotiate or transfer to Royal Bank for the credit of the township, cash or any security, instrument, or other property, and for those purposes to endorse by rubber stamp or otherwise the name of the township or any other name under which the township carries on business on any security or instrument. Three, to instruct Royal Bank by any means to debit the accounts of third parties for deposits to the credit of the township. And four, to receive statements, instruments, and other items, including paid checks and documents relating to the customer's accounts with or any service of Royal Bank, and to settle and certify the township's accounts with Royal Bank. That all instruments, instructions, agreements, including contracts relating to products or services provided by Royal Bank, and documents made, drawn, accepted, endorsed, or signed under the corporate seal or otherwise, as provided in this resolution and delivered to Royal Bank by any person, shall be valid and binding on the township, and Royal Bank is hereby authorized to act on them and give effect to them. That Royal Bank be furnished with a copy of this resolution and a list of names of the persons authorized by this resolution to act on behalf of the township, and with written notice of any changes which may take place in such list from time to time, and with specimens from the signatures of all such persons, each certified by the mayor, the deputy mayor, the land planning administrator, the mayor and the land planning administrator have to sign that list. In writing, any authorization made under paragraph 2C of this resolution, that any document furnished to Royal Bank as provided for in paragraph 4 of this resolution shall be binding upon the township until a new document repealing or replacing the previous one has been received and duly acknowledged in writing by the branch or agency of the Royal Bank where the township has its account. So it sounds like a lot, but what happens is, as the treasurer and now the deputy treasurer, we create checklists, check runs, different things. So we don't sign for them. They have to be signed for by either the mayor, deputy mayor, and land planning administrator, or the fire chief, so that there's just a double check. And all of those amounts are usually approved by resolution. That's what the accounts listing comes through, and the auditor checks them at the end of the year. So this is just authorizing us to change the list.
So any discussion? All in favor?
One more that wasn't on the list for the times.
Need a mover and a seconder, and I'll read it. That we appoint David Oh, Steve and James and stuff. Yeah. That we appoint Dave Yam to the Golden Sunshine Nonprofit Housing Corporation, the Pines Board of Management as the Township of Nipissing representative. Discussion. All in favor? Okay, I need a mover and a seconder. Shelley put, James got it. And I will read it. That the 2024 Christmas holiday hours for the Township of Nipissing Administrative Office and landfill sites will be as follows. Township Office, Tuesday, December 24th, closed at noon, closed December 25th, 26th, and 27th. December 31st, closed at noon, and January 2025, closed. First,
January first.
what did I
I
say?
said January. We're not gonna close the whole month, just saying.
Just thought you might.
Thank you.
Yeah, January 1st, 2025. Landfill sites, Tuesday, December 24th, 25th, 26th, both sites are closed. December 31st and January 1st, 2025, both sites will be closed. Discussion.
Effective January first, the new landfill hours go
That's
into
right.
effect.
That was the discussion I was gonna bring up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so we will be posting those hours, am I correct?
And Jillian has, just as a side note, Councillor Kirky, Jillian has been posting and giving out notices at the landfill for the last 3 weeks to 4 weeks. So residents are aware of the new hours starting
Okay.
January 1st.
Perfect, perfect.
All in favor?
Yeah, that's for training.
Okay. We need a mover and a that the Township of Nipissing Administrative Office will be closed to the public on Wednesday, December 18th, 2024 for training purposes. Discussion.
Just a quick one, is that, I might have missed it, but will that affect people trying to get packages or will it be closed by then?
It closes at 4:30 the day before.
Or it's all, I'm making sure. Yeah.
All in favor?
So the next one is the wages. This one is Office Council, but we gave out that.
Okay, everybody has a copy?
And this is for council.
So. Mover and a seconder. Shelley James. That we pass bylaw number 2024-54, being a bylaw to establish the remuneration and payment of expenses to council or to members of council. Read this first, second, third time and passed the third day of December 2024. Discussion.
Would anybody be upset if council didn't get the 2%?
That wouldn't be.
I wouldn't be.
I'm not, I know we don't wanna go too far behind, but
No, because then the next council comes in and we leave it all to them.
Yeah.
So we have to think about that.
I think about that, but I think.
Yeah.
So the 2% increase that we're suggesting for council and for staff.
Yeah.
The impact on the budget for council is $1,000,
Yeah, I know, it's minimal,
just for consideration.
it's more, I guess, more symbolic than, I think staff deserves it, bar none. I'm not saying that we don't deserve it, but
I have no concerns either way. I just don't want to leave a mess for the next council coming in. And that's what I worry about. Like we leave a mess for them to deal with coming in, and that's not our mandate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, what we need to, not saying either way, but I think we need to think about that.
Yes, because the next council can come in and then they have to catch up and it looks poorly on them.
Yeah.
And it's, we love.
yeah, I wouldn't plan on doing it every year,
No.
but
And we did in our first year.
We did in our first year.
Yeah.
oh, you guys,
We said
didn't
no.
Didn't.
okay, I was unaware of that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah.
Well, we came in, there was people, we understood that people out there were hurting.
Yeah.
And we were just trying to keep everything to
Yes.
their minimum.
And it's
$1,000.
Yes, go
Can I
ahead.
say something? So most municipalities around us offer their council members a per diem when they are on other committee meetings or other things. We don't do that.
No.
No.
So we only offer this amount.
Yeah.
So that's also something to keep in.
I'm back when I was on before, we were in the lowest bunch around.
And like I said, and James didn't know, but the first year we took that.
No.
So,
Okay. No, then more or less changes my opinion.
$1,000 is not a lot.
No, I know it's not a lot of money.
And I understand.
So,
Okay, so no wood structure, we go here then. 2%, or, well, in my opinion, we either take the 2% or take nothing.
that's right.
That's the decision to be made here. And it will affect future councils, I get that, but I didn't get into this to get rich or make a living.
No.
on it.
None of us did.
No,
So,
The council's time is valuable. And you are asked to give quite a bit considering the packages are getting more complicated.
yes, they are.
You're being contacted more and more often by residents on the outside. And it's, the job is getting,
Mhm. No, I understand that, and I understand that other councils do take a per diem for committee work, whereas we don't. But anyway, so here's your awkward conversation, right?
you hear of councils that in taxes alone, they're like, for 2 years, they'll say, oh, 1%, and then the new council comes in, and so we need to give a 12% increase because we've fallen behind,
Mhm.
and then they're the ones that get nailed on it. They never created that product, so,
True.
yeah. Well, I can ask for a vote on 2%, all in favor.
and it's tabled for the next. Because I didn't create another,
Oh,
there was no option.
oh, sorry.
That's okay. That will be on the next agenda for discussion. Which direction do you want me to go? At 0?
Well, we could potentially, we could potentially put two motions out there.
Yeah.
One yea or one nay, like 1-2 or 1-0.
Well, that was the,
That was
that
what
was
we
the
just
2,
did.
was what we just did.
Okay,
Well,
And everyone voted
you could
no.
go,
So we needed that,
you could go 0, 1%, or 2%.
I can go 0 or 1, you just voted on 2.
You voted on 2, okay,
Okay,
that works.
I will move that to the next agenda. And for staff,
so I need a mover and a seconder, Steve and James. That we pass bylaw number 24-55, being a bylaw to amend the remuneration schedule in the Township of Nipissing Pay Equity Plan. Read this first, second, and third time and passed the third day of December 24th. Discussion.
is this the pay for the coming year?
The pay bands.
pay back.
in our pay equity.
Okay,
Okay,
And we usually, or we typically use the customer price index for October, which I included.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's 2%. And I did call Powassan calendar, which we usually use as a consideration, and they're at 2.
so all in favor? Changes second, Steve first, so. Mover and a seconder, Shelley. Change. Passed bylaw number 2024-56 being a bylaw to enter into an agreement for municipal facilities maintenance contract for the Township of Nipissing. Read this first, second, third time and passed this third day of December 2024. All in favor?
Remainder of the resolutions. Unless you have notes on yours.
No.
The file.
Oh, everybody has a copy? So the resolution from Township of Russell and King Township requesting the redistribution of provincial land transfer tax and GST to municipalities for sustainable infrastructure funding. We're not asking for our support or anything, just.
did they send this to Amo as well?
Yeah.
They did both send it to me
Yes.
as well.
Okay. I was reading this and we should be on board with this, I think.
Yeah,
every
it's-
community in the province.
Everybody sent it to Amo. So
Okay.
that we had all, council had given direction that if it goes to Amo, that we wait until Amo brings it back to us.
Okay,
That's okay.
To the resolution Township of Cushland for the protection of agricultural lands and sustainable development in relation to provincial projects and excess soil management practices. Resolution, Papineau Cameron calls on the provincial government to amend the Ontario Building Code to include provisions for pre-approved housing plans to support low-income and homeless individuals. Good. So the AMO policy update, encampments and opioids, I guess everybody's read. The NDP motion on municipal fiscal sustainability, mental health and addictions, cybersecurity and infrastructure. AMO update on housing targets in Ontario. Minutes of the Golden Sunshine Municipal Nonprofit Housing Corporation held on the 17th September. Minutes of the Town of Perry Sounds EMS Advisory Committee held October 24th, 2024, and Shelley updated us on all that at our last meeting. Minutes of the Township Museum Board, which we already had, and the Wasson District Union Public Library Board, which we I need a mover and seconder. Stephen James. That we accept the correspondence as presented. All in favor? Carried. And accounts payable. So I'll need a mover and a seconder. James, Shelley. That the statement of accounts dated November 4th, 9th, 12th, 13th, 18th, 21st, 23rd, 25th, 26th, 2024, totaling 263,468. 68 be approved.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Yes. Discussions. All in favor?
Comment. So going forward with the mail strike, we're investigating EFT electronic funds transfer options, which will require some changes to our procedures because we don't have that in place right now. So as we go forward, we're finding alternate ways to make sure our vendors are getting paid, but that will be coming forward hopefully at the next council meeting.
Good. Okay.
Excellent.
Do most of our vendors have electronic?
Most do, yes.
Okay.
The ones that I've reached out to have all been very understanding that we haven't been able to deliver checks to, or have made note and said just a bit appreciative for the phone call and know that we're investigating it. So they've all
Okay.
been very great, so.
We're also going to begin a process of reaching out to residents just in the event that this carries on into the new year for tax billing purposes. We'll start to compile some information if we have to. But, if we don't have to use that process, or not to, for privacy of information.
Oh, yeah.
But we're looking into different options. So again, that is another process that will come forward to council for consideration.
Yeah, I could see that being difficult
Very.
because not everybody, main residence is here. How do we get that bill to them?
An email is not exactly secure.
And yeah,
There are lots of different variables that can happen, and we have to ensure that we're getting that information to the owner of the property.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's more than one. So there's different things for us to consider.
yeah, I think I wouldn't even fathom how to send them an email saying, please get a hold of us to get your tax bill.
This
There's
isn't
gonna be the ones that
something-
say, I never got it.
This isn't something that we've ever investigated just because of our size and for the cost of that kind of program. It's just cost prohibitive for a municipality of our size. It's never been an issue. But with this strike, we're just going to explore and see what happens.
What would, I guess you're still starting, but you're, what do they call, like, without using names, the only one I can think of is per later or FedEx. Is that a possibility or is that a very expensive
No,
possibility?
No. So what happened was we have some land planning act applications that we needed to circulate notices on. So we did deliver the ones that we were able to here and in North Bay.
Yeah.
But there were, I believe, how many today?
5.
5, including supplementary tax bills. We managed to do all but one that had to go by Purelator today. And the fire chief took them to Purelator for us. Today, we're averaging about $20 per one that we mail out. So we're doing the best that we can to make sure, but that's definitely not an option.
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
Times 1,700.
Yes, we send out almost 3,000 tax.
And it goes by
Yeah.
weight, the size of the
Oh, yeah.
envelope.
Yeah, I get that, yeah.
And each one.
John Paul had to go in and figure out the size of envelope. Cause the normal size envelope was a lot more money than a bigger envelope.
Essentially had to put the smaller envelope into a larger one.
To get the cost savings. It's a little bit weird. Yes. So, but it's just not an option.
No,
So we need to look at a better.
Creative
efficient
alternatives
way.
to figure out what we can do, so.
Yeah, while still maintaining the privacy of information that we're required to have, and that's our challenge.
Yeah.
And without getting into some complicated program, that we didn't sign up for that with our new program either, with that module, and that was a lot more money, so.
Well, even whether the mail strike carries on or not, it probably be in our best interest
It was
too.
something that's in the future, it just wasn't going to be now, but we will continue to look. I would recommend council that we only use that option if the strike continues at this point.
Yeah.
Just for
Yeah,
our own
because
safety.
it is prohibitively expensive.
when is our next schedule?
The end of January.
That time?
So yes, we're not panicking yet. I'm just advising council that we are investigating the options because we do see how things can go.
I still get most of my bills paper, but I got a phone message from MasterCard saying, you're not getting your paper, you're still responsible
I got that one today.
to, you know,
Our demographic here in the township is slowly changing, yes, but the majority of our residents enjoy receiving thetheir bill.
that's why I still get a paper, so.
Mhm. Thank you.
Seniors in old school.
Yeah.
It's us.
Santa can deliver what's his sleigh.
Yes.
Yeah. So I need a mover and a seconder, James Scott, Charlie White. That we pass bylaw number 2024-57, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting held on December 3rd, 2024. Read this first, second, and third time and pass this third day of December 2024. All in favor? And, yeah,
Don't need a motion.
yeah, so I need a mover and a 717. Yeah, okay.
That just goes.
So I need a mover and a seconder. Stephen James. That the meeting be adjourned at 7:17 PM. Next regular meeting to be held December 17th, 2024, and it's at 6 PM.
6:30.
I thought we had a,
That's different council.
Yeah,
Maybe
the
the
adjustment.
Yeah, there's an
Next
early-
meeting?
yeah,
So, yeah.
December 17th at 6
yeah,
p.m.
okay, yeah,
Committee of adjustment is at
6 PM.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is it regular council? Yeah. Oh,